What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Friday. It's another episode of Good Buzz Community Podcast. And as you see, Preston's there at Church Hill Smoke Shop. I'm here at home. I'll probably see him a little bit later. And again, as always, if you're not doing anything, come see us. We got NBA basketball, also college football, and get ready for the big game tomorrow against Jackson State versus Grambling. Of course, we have all the screens up for your watching pleasure. And as always, I got my right hand man, my partner in crime, Mr. P. Powell to the third power, Mr. Preston Powell the third.
Going on, Chad. I had to put my headphones on today because the audio on the last one wasn't too tight. It was kind of muffled.
Gotcha.
Spoken today, the Rojas, one of our LCH cigars for the week. Thought I'd just crank this one up. This is what it was when we first started the year out with. As Chad said, it's another college football Saturday. So NBA basketball tonight. Speaking of the NBA,
Oh
what's
Lord.
your thoughts, Chad? What's your thoughts?
Man,
Well, before you start, for those who not familiar, the NBA gambling scandal, you can look at that video right there to get an idea what's going on.
Today, three notable arrests were made. The first one, Chauncey Billups, the Portland Trailblazers head coach. He was just coaching in an NBA game last night in Portland against the Minnesota Timberwolves. He was arrested at around 6 a.m. in Portland, Oregon. Terry Rozier, Miami Heat guard, he was also arrested this morning at 6 a.m. in Orlando. And then Damon Jones, also played in the NBA, was an assistant coach in the NBA. He was arrested this morning at 6 a.m. Rozier was involved with charges around sports betting, prop bets, giving information to conspirators that were gambling on games, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Allegedly. Chauncey Billups was involved in allegedly illegal poker games and cheating and rigging on those poker games as part of a mafia mob-tied affiliated situation. And Damon Jones is the one guy that was charged that had crossover with both. Obviously, this is seismic news around the NBA. 30-plus arrests. I'm told Malik Beasley is not involved in this situation. We'll see how much more comes of this. This started as a 3, 4, 5-person group. It's now morphed into over 40. It has mob affiliation. Will there be more? I'd gotten wind last night that there was going to be a press conference and that Kash Patel was actually a big name in all of this and someone that was taking a leading role in this investigation process. For Terry Rozier, he's been investigated for over 2 years now.
Now, with that being shown, what's your thought, Chad?
how stupid can you be?
I was
You an
shocked by
NBA head?
Chauncey.
You know what?
Chauncey
I
shocked.
was too. I was too. But the first word that comes to mind is greed. You made all this money. You're an NBA head coach. How much more money do you want?
Yeah, that's what Shaq said. It's making $9 million. Yeah, how much money you need?
Yeah, how much money do you need? But also tells me that there might be some other underlying problems Chauncey got too that hasn't been addressed
Yeah,
as of yet.
yeah. I mean, but you know that competitiveness get in you, and you still want to be competitive. And think about it, they gamble all throughout the season. That's what their pastime is. I just don't understand how you get caught up in that.
That's what
That
I'm saying.
now Rozier, that just some crazy.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, you remember now he's the same one who got Rick Pitino in trouble in Louisville.
It makes sense.
So yeah, that doesn't surprise. He's a knucklehead from day one. So that don't
Right.
surprise me that he's dumb enough to pass along that information to but how do you get connected up with oh man, it's bad online. And I don't know why, and you can help me out with it. I don't know why I feel like this. It's maybe because the league is mostly all black, but I feel like it's like when it comes from the people it's coming from, it's like it's saying something about blackness to be attacking the NBA in that manner. Because the
Mm,
majority of the league is African American.
well, that's very plausible, Preston, and I can see that because of the majority of folks getting tired of seeing black superstars, you know, face all over the NBA.
Yeah.
Steph Curry, SGA in Oklahoma, and Zion and crazy man in Memphis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I
Yeah.
think it's a big deal, but the bigger issue is who is allowing black players these accesses to these other rooms.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can create our own room now because we've done it before. We're doing it the whole time. Look at Michael Jordan; he can create his own room, but who's creating these access to these other rooms?
Yeah,
When you got the mob involved.
yeah, for what the report's saying, they were using NBA players to attract people to the game, and they're just illegal games they just set up around the country. Because the thing that makes it was an enterprise. Like
Right, of course.
a friendly poker game amongst friends, those things fall on the radar. But when you have a house and you have all that extra organization around it, and paying to play,
Right.
you off in the deep waters. Then it was hard for me to swallow that. It was kind of like you get that secondhand embarrassment. Like, come on, bro, what are y'all doing?
But the bigger embarrassment is those who have not yet been implicated. Because there's some other names who you know been
Well,
allegedly associated with this.
well, then and Gilbert Arenas ain't doing no favors playing games with it. I saw Rachel Nichols made a little post about she kind of insinuated that Gilbert
Mhm.
snitched on a lot of them. He got right out of jail.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was she kind
Yeah.
of alluded. So he kind of like he was upset on his podcast, but he played into it. He came to his podcast. In fact, if you want to see the video right here.
Basketball legend Gilbert Arenas' claims that he would snitch in the wake of his arrest for illegal gambling have resurfaced after the NBA was gripped by another betting scandal. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier and Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups were among more than 30 people arrested as part of an FBI investigation into illegal gambling. The explosive raids came less than 3 months after Arenas, a 3-time NBA All-Star, was arrested on similar charges. The 43-year-old is accused of running a high-stakes illegal poker ring out of a mansion that he owned. Arenas pleaded not guilty during a court appearance in July and was released pending trial after paying a $50,000 bond. Yet, following his release, he issued a defiant response to his arrest during a live stream saying,
"Hey, y'all, good luck in court, hey man, because I'm pretty sure I ain't gonna be there when it's time to go, because I'm snitching."
After Billups and Rozier were arrested, Arenas' past comments swiftly went viral on social media once again. Arenas appeared to joke about the situation again on Thursday, just hours after their arrest, saying, "Got that informant lunch special this morning, #Agent0." There is nothing to suggest that Arenas followed through on his claim or was involved in the proceedings leading to Thursday's arrest. Arenas later insisted that he was merely joking, shutting down allegations that he did pass information on to the authorities.
But he saw him with the informant bag. Talking about I'm an informant. Then he's trolling, but
Damn.
what they always say. That boy go there and for some charges. And all of a sudden he get out. The next a few months later, everybody get arrested.
Right. Dang.
So I mean, that is the charge Chauncey got is the charge that they had him on being part of he set up illegal games and stuff like that. It's been a while since you heard something from the five families.
Right. That's my whole point. Like the Gambies and folk that came back.
Yeah, it's been a
Wow.
while since that. So you see what they've been doing. Because this goes back to like 2018, 19.
Man, that's crazy.
Working and stuff. Now the Rozier stuff, the NBA flagged that. And they caught that once, but they cleared it. I don't know what happened there. As you saw in that video, the guy talked about it.
Yeah,
They
that was something
caught
else
him.
happened. Yeah, that's something else happened. Because it's actually been linked. I think he's actually been linked to one of the casinos on the coast. Someone bet on him what he would do and would not do. And I think he took us out the ball game or something like that. I'm not specifically sure.
And that's what Michael Beasley was kicked out the league for a little suspended for that little while for. And Porter, he's permanently banned for that.
Right.
And Damon Jones putting LeBron name in it, that doesn't help either.
And that's what I was alluding to.
Yeah.
That's what I was alluding to.
And then on top of that, you got Gilbert talking about how they used to play in LeBron's house all the time. That man, talking too much, man. Like, why?
Because he want to be relevant. Because he want to be relevant.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be relevant. Your podcast ain't that good. It's irrelevant. So you got to do something to make it relevant. I mean, that's the bottom line. You ain't in the spotlight no more, bro. Just Hey, you got your podcast, you like doing it, just do it.
Yeah,
Don't do that though. Come on,
yeah.
dog.
Don't say. I mean, because I know he's joking, but you got to remember, people not gonna see it that way. They,
No, they don't.
man, you can't. They just they don't take the. I mean, you call it trolling, and you are trolling. You're good at it, but yeah, that right there, man, that's rough right there, man. That's
Exactly.
rough. That is
Right.
real rough, man. And I'm wondering, I'm hoping no other names come out, and like you said, is the odds say it will be.
Mm-mm.
I'm just hoping that they can let it. So
No,
you think they kick Chauncey out of the Hall of Fame if he's convicted of this? Because
that's a great question.
he just went in last year?
Yeah, that's a great question, Preston. And I'm gonna go on a limb for the NBA to prove a point. I will say yes.
Yeah, I mean that's their Pete Rose right there.
Yep. To prove a point, they're gonna make Chauncey Billups as an example and probably sacrifice him.
I can see that. Now I've met Michael Francis, the former mobster that used to work for I think the Gambino family.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a couple of interviews. In fact, you can see his interview there. But
Well, you never know what's going to happen when you wake up in the morning. And today I am being bombarded, I would say, by all the news media because of this latest arrest and scandal with the NBA and gambling. Everybody's hitting me up, and I understand why. I'm kind of the go-to guy on this because I've been working with all the pro leagues and the NCAA about gambling and players getting involved in it for 30 years now. As a matter of fact, I was recruited out of prison when I was, about 6 months away from coming home, and started working with all the major leagues back then. And obviously that was followed up by the NCAA, and have done over 300 universities. Why did they pick me? Because I had a big gambling operation on the street. I had 12 or 13 bookmakers working for me at that time. And so obviously I knew a lot of athletes get in trouble all the time, with respect to gambling. It happens. I don't like to throw a wide net over everybody, but listen, you got to understand with athletes, gambling is an extension of their competitiveness. They raise the stakes when they gamble. And this is what happens. Many of them get in trouble, whether they be in pros or in college, but it's been happening and it will continue to happen.
I knew he was going to come and talk about how they get caught up, because it's one of the things when I met him when he was speaking at one of our events, he talked about how they get athletes, college athletes, how they, because they always gambling, how they easy to fall prey. And once you win, you win.
Right.
Win. It's not like you see on TV, but they have ways. That's that little, well, you see in these cases, just how much money they can earn just by knowing a little bit of it.
True.
Because like
Very true.
talking about Damon Jones, what he was saying, he was telling people that LeBron was playing before so they can place those prop bets.
Right.
So I mean, it's wild. I I hate that. Because like I said,
Yeah.
you get that secondhand embarrassment, because the NBA is seen as an African American league, even though the NFL is just as black. But the NBA is just seen like, it's more African American than anything else.
I love the way how you're being politically correct this evening. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Try to do right. Because other words are popping in my head.
Yeah, I know mine. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually I'm the one that did this. The
NBA stands for the National Black Boys Association.
Right. The other thing before we get out, I know we weren't going to do it long today, Jeff, but another thing I want to talk about, man, what do you think about Stephen A. Smith and all this? His trek to be more than just a sportscaster, I guess. I guess that's what he's trying to do. I'm assuming that's what he's trying to do.
The political thing.
Yeah, like going after Jasmine Crockett. Now, he came back and apologized for that, saying he was misunderstood. No, you weren't.
No, you said what you want to say.
Yeah, and he's trying to cater to a certain audience.
Exactly.
And when black people start saying stuff about him, and which I've been saying about him for years, like, I just don't ride with him like that. No, not at
Stephen
all.
A. Smith is a jackass
Pretty much.
who tries to make himself prevalent. He's trying to cross over. You know what I'm saying, to certain audiences. But the sad part about that is that I think that he's dismissed the African American audience as a whole. I know he still got some people that who are loyalists to him and listen to him. I don't really care to listen to him in that aspect. I saw him on the Pivot podcast with Ron
Yeah,
Clark, and it was a very vulnerable moments there. There was some realness that you can identify with him with. But
right.
overall, I mean, it just seems like in his very Austin, Texas vocabulary, a very insidious spectacle of him trying to put himself in a place to do other things where he might not even belong.
Well, I definitely say that because one thing I don't like the idea when he keeps saying, "Oh man, I told y'all, Trump coming, Trump coming." Oh man, you're playing into Trump's ego going down national TV.
Right,
You know he's sitting in the White House loving to hear that. That oh he's scared of you're fearful of him in
right.
that vein. You're playing to his ego, and that just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. That dude, man. I don't know what to say about it. I really don't. That's just he never was my cup of tea, but he was tolerable. I tolerated it,
Of
but
course.
now I just can't even. When I hear him speak, I get my jaw tight.
Yeah, I normally change. I normally change it now. Like I said, it's the one thing to be looked at and revered as this particular entity or person that he's supposed to be the man. That's what I see, and
But
he's not.
don't he know he's been around the game long enough? Don't he know at the end of the day they gonna throw him away and he's gonna try to come back to the fold? And at that point, everybody gonna want to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the sad part about that. Uh, the satirical imagery is they're gonna hang him before they do that first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I said satirical imagery for the people out there. They're gonna hang him first.
Well, it's never working. It's never working.
Right.
And then but Shannon say he stuck by him in this thing, so Shannon gonna roll with him. You know, I'm saying Stephen A was one of the few people that did stand by him. Yeah, a lot of people kind of disappeared on
I mean, I get that, but at the same time,
him.
you know, my question would be, what was the intent behind it?
Yeah. But one more thing I want to get your opinion on, Chad. So you saw you I don't know if you saw familiar with what happened with Angela Ray and the Joe Budden podcast.
I'm not. I got a glimpse of it, but
Uh,
I'm not too.
she
I didn't
talked
see it. I didn't see it all.
basically she talked down to them like they weren't elite like everybody else. Said talking about Mark Lamont Hill is the intellectual there, and he's kind of dumbing himself down to be there. And Joe Budden came back at her like no, that's we are one of the number one listened to podcasts in the world, and everybody's not everybody's not out here drinking with their pinky in the air. So and it did speak to something. One hand, as what Angela Ray is right, there's a definite anti-intellectualism going on. Not just black men, that's all the way around. But
Right.
there also is this group of people like her and Tiffany Cross who think they just, above the fray. And that kind of like that makes my jaw tight too. Like, hold on a second now. We all got degrees and we all had things we've done in life, but at the end of the day, we all go for y'all. You
Yeah.
can't sit there and talk down to them because you think because they rappers that they don't have education or they not smart. You know, yeah, Flip and your boy do say some dumb shit there on Joe Budden podcast.
He do.
Especially one who think the world is flat. Like, come on, man.
Right.
Boy,
Man.
yeah, that's like fifth grade science.
Right. Second. Second. That's second grade social studies.
But that is just the end of that age we live in. People fall for anything. You know, my biggest complaint when it comes to stuff like that is if you're a person of me, you can find out if you want to.
Right.
You can find out if you want to. So you don't have to sit there and listen to some conspiracy theory. I understand the dude who live in a trailer or, who don't have access to information. I can understand him falling for it, but you got nieces. You can go talk to a side, you can go talk to somebody, you can go actually see something.
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole other thing. But what do you think about the depth of not the depth of, but the anti-intellectualism in our
The anti-electionalism. Oh man. It is the how I want to put this.
You know how people say, first thing I'll tell you this. One thing
Hmm.
that makes me kind of raise an eyebrow when Mug tell me, let's say we're talking about archaeologists,
Huh.
and I got an archaeologist sitting right there, and I'm asking him questions, and you got another guy sitting over there that didn't major in archaeology, don't know nothing about archaeology, but telling me he did his research. That right there make my jaw tight. I hear that shit
Oh yeah.
all the time. I'm like,
Oh
bro,
yeah.
Google is not no goddamn research.
Hell no. Google is finding scholarly articles
Yeah,
that's written by actual people in these
yeah,
fields. That's had IBR review. And
right.
stuff like that.
It's like I tell my son all the time. There's a difference between hearing something, listening to something, and understanding something.
Right.
Those are all different things. A person who studied a subject can hear and see something and understand where it's coming from. A
Right.
person who just hear it is just taking it on its face value and can't explain what they're listening to or hearing.
Exactly. And that goes back to what you just said a little while ago about education. And we've all went to school, and one thing I heard the other night, and it was one of the realest things I've heard. A bachelor's degree, you learn theory. Okay. A master's degree, you learn how to apply theory. A PhD allows you to create theory.
That's well said. Yeah, that's well put
You know what
together.
I'm saying? So with
Yeah.
that being said, to go back to your question, we have a lot of people, like you said, are very vulnerable to a lot of misinformation because they're misinformed. But that's part of the problem. A lot of people, especially out here uh, in the political landscape, right now, propaganda is winning, and so they're misinforming the people. If the people don't go get the information for themselves, then who wins?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
The
mean,
people who are in charge of the information.
I don't think it's no accident that they dumbing people down. It's
Oh yeah,
just some of the stuff is just outlandish. That that, and I think, like I tell my kids, I said, look, we learned how to do stuff. Like we didn't learn just what the answer is. We learned how to get the answer. But the advent of technology and stuff like this, they just have answers to questions. They don't
right,
know how those answers, so you don't have the creative way of thinking. Because like when you learn how to do something, you learn how to adjust. So
right,
they know the answer to something, but they don't know how they got that answer. So they can't adjust. They
right,
can't adjust to different circumstances. And that's where the gap in the learning is. Because
right.
we come from a generation that, if somebody taught you how to make a cup, you went from getting the mud to the clay machine to drying it to heating it,
Put in the kiln and everything like that.
everything. You know everything.
Right,
They know, hey, a cup is made of mud, but you use this machine to make it.
right.
So they got the answer, but they don't know
Don't
how
know process.
they don't know process. That's a good way to say it. So I think
Don't know process.
that's the gap. Hey, we Gen X. They threw us to the wilderness and came back. We came back. I told Winston, that's my son, by the way. I said, man, you realize that we had commercials, literally that came on TV. It's to the clock, do you know where your kids are?
Yep. Real talk.
And I told him, I
Yeah.
said, the other thing we had was, you remember that that 1-800 number that you can call to report child abuse?
Oh yeah. Call if you want to.
Yeah. I said, they had to put a secret number out there for us.
Yep. Call if you want to.
To
Hell,
report.
my auntie started dialing number for my cousin. I'm like, ooh, let me leave this house. Let me go back down the road. I don't want to see that. Hell crazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
but yeah,
funny.
you're right though.
But
Yeah.
that's kind of stuff we had. I mean, it was like that. So
Right.
that's interesting. So Chad, so you got the big games this weekend, Jackson State, Grambling. By the time this video comes out, it's probably going to be, you'll know the outcome of that game. But the game is in Vegas. A lot of people going up there.
Man, half of Jackson gone. I mean,
Yeah, I heard that.
it was very good to see. Like my parents gone, a lot of administration, JSU administration gone. national alumni, various regional alumni associations, as well as local alumni associations, Memphis, Jackson, Birmingham, Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, and then of course, a lot of people don't probably won't know this, but there's a strong contingency of JSU people in Vegas.
Yeah.
And Vegas has been waiting for this for a while now. So they're having a good time for what I've heard. I've talked to a few people. So it bodes well for a great weekend. And hey, we're gonna turn into a Jackson State winning weekend.
Oh, there you go. But that's all I got, Chaz. You got anything else, man?
Hey y'all, look.
Thoughts?
As always, we're not doing anything. I'm finna get up, pack it up, and move around a little bit. I'm gonna go check out my man Preston at Churchill Smoke Shop as always. Look, we're not doing anything. Come see us. Come watch a little basketball. Matter of fact, come have a little conversation with us. We can talk and smoke a good cigar and have a good drink. Like I said, you come by yourself, but I guarantee you're gonna leave as a friend. That Churchill Smoke Shop. Yo, Preston, what's the address?
Oh, 5050 I-55 North Furnace Road, right down from in the Bell Plaza, right down from Capitol Grill.
If we're not doing anything tonight, man, come see us. Remember, as always, look, 10% off if you mentioned the Good Brothers Community Podcast. Come on,
All right.
come see us.
You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.